but I'm just gonna wait and double check, making sure that everything is okay. So hello, just bear with me until I make sure that we're live and nothing is like, out of place. So just just hold on for 2 seconds. And it's not that I'm ignoring you. I'm just trying to make sure that, everything is working and we're live. So once I see it, yes, I'm live. So okay, perfect. I'm working. Hi everyone. Like I said, we're gonna take a few minutes before we get like everything set up. And I don't mean like work, but I mean technologically. But hello everyone. My name is Nathalie DeSousa, and I'm gonna be your host for the next little bit. I am actually going to work a new layout with the January kits because this already arrived in my house. So I'm gonna give you an idea of what to do with the kits, and I think it's going to give you hopefully it's fun and and it's going to give you an idea of how pretty these kits are. So one thing out of the way. Second thing, everything that I'm going to use I've already linked to the description of this video, and I know that I'm coming live to you guys. It's 2 o'clock here in Toronto, Canada, which is where I'm coming from. And it might be a great time for you to watch this, or it might be too early for you, or be too late for you because we're different time zones, or you might be watching it on replay, and that's okay. I thank you first of all for if you're live for being here, and if you are not live but watching on replay, let us know that you're watching on replay. I'm hoping that Kimberly actually helps us with some of the questions. It might be a little bit hard for me to answer any questions because remember, like I said, I am going to you guys live at the moment. So it is going to be a little bit tough if I miss some questions, even though I think it's going to be very low key because it is just the time of the month. It's at the end of the month. A lot of things happen around this time. And here in Canada, we're going into tax season, which is not a pretty one. So like I said, we're gonna touch on a few things. So remember to say, like I said, everything that I'm gonna use is linked in the description of the video. If there's any questions, either now or you're watching on replay, let me know. Leave it in the comment section, and I'm gonna come back and answer them. Anything that I'm missing to say, yes. Just like I said, any comments that. Don't forget to check the kits. And what we're gonna work on today is all using the January kit. So if you are a subscriber, then I think they're starting to ship. So that's one of the reasons why we not might see Kimberly, because she's busy with shipping. But I think it's a beautiful kit, very colorful, and I think you're gonna like it. So I am going to flip the camera, and not because it's gonna be a lot of work, but it's gonna take some time to work because we're working with the color kit mostly. So let me just flip the button to get to the other camera. So you're gonna see I have my kit here. Let me flip it. I have all my kits here. Well, I have some pieces that are sitting on the side, but I'm gonna just move it to the side, and I'm gonna tell you that today we are going to be working. Let me get up because I'm sitting down right now. Let me get up. We're gonna be working with the color kit, and the color kit. This one is actually this stencil. This is the Scandinavian flower stencil, and it comes with three Lindy's Gangs. I'm gonna say material. Two of them are, one is a magical, let me just, because I don't want to take a guess. Yes, so I'm going to just pull them out. Yeah, so one is magical shaker, and the name of it is actually blue Hawaiian blue. The other one is this beautiful red, and it's Berliner filling fuchsia, and it has like a shine to it. And the other one is golden apple strudel, which I've actually used before, and I love it. So these are the three colors. They match the colors in this month's kit. So that's always a good thing. So this is like the main, what are we going to be using today for our project. And I'll show you what the stencil does. So what it looks like, because on white doesn't look as promising. So this is what it looks like, and these are the colors, like very watered down version of the colors of the powders that you have in the collection. So we're gonna do this in a bigger scale. So think about it just like, a different way to use your stencil in a way. So let's get started. I'm just going to move this to the side. I need to make space for me. Let me just, you're gonna see that I'm gonna bring a second mat. I have my glass mat here. just because it's going to help me with what I want to do, especially because I don't want that much paper. What's the word that I'm trying to use? I don't need my palette. We're gonna use water. So that means that your paper is going to get a little bit curled if we don't take care of it. So for this, you're gonna need either very thick paper. Watercolor paper will be another thing that you might want to think about using, or what I'm going to be using is like really heavy mixed media paper. And my paper of choice for this is actually Vicky Boutin's foundation paper. So I'm gonna take one sheet of this. Yeah. I am going to and I like it. It's 140 pounds in weight, so that means it's like super heavy, which is what I want for this because I want it to withstand the water. And I see the edge is a little bit raw. I'm just gonna kind of trim a little bit of this. I hope you guys are doing okay. Like I said, today in Toronto, we had snow overnight. But one of the beauties is like usually there's two things that happen after snow here in Toronto. I'm not gonna say in Canada because that'll be like a misconception and you know, usually here in Toronto, it really gets very warm, very sunny, and that means that either there's very windy and it's cold, or it's actually the snow has melted. So that's what we have right now. The snow has melted already, which is a bad thing. I'm just fixing the light. It's good because it's for driving, it's great. But if you are like if you're hoping to see like a lot of snow, not a great thing. So I'm just trying to fix the light to get you better lighting for what I'm going to do. Just lower one. I think we have it right now. I set up the lights and I was hoping like they stay in place. So what I'm gonna do to this is I'm actually gonna glue it onto my board. I don't have to do it, but I want to do it. So I'm gonna get my ruler. One of the things you have to keep in mind is that this stencil, let me bring it up here. I have my stuff here. It's actually, I think it's only like a 6 by 8, not even. Okay, so because of the borders, I want the inside. So I have my little ruler here. See, this stencil is actually, there we go, around 5.5. Let's see, like 5.5 by 7, if I'm not mistaken, when I did my previous work. Yeah, by 7. So kind of center it. So I want to make like around a 7 by 7 square. So that means that I need to mask it around 1.5. So I'm gonna get my ruler here and I'm just going to run tape. This is just magic tape. So when I like a 7 by 7, out of 12 to be 2.5. So I'm just going to kind of keep it all together here. 2.5 will be at this line here. Get this out of the way. Trying to be sure that it's nice and straight because I do want it to be, I don't want it to be perfect, but I do want it to be like, in that square shape in the center. So we're working on our background right now. As you can see, one, I take my ruler again and measure 2.5 from the top. And that's gonna prevent, I'm hoping, for my paper to curl out quite a bit. And like I said, we are going to use water. So you wanna think about, either using heavy cardstock or watercolor paper too will be a great thing. Just because you want to prevent some of the curling that is going to happen, because it is going to happen. So we want to run 7, so 2.5 or so. This is 1, 2, 11, 10.5. I'm estimating here, so let me see. 2.5, 2.5. I'm gonna do the same over here. So run 2.5. And I just realized something. Yes, I'm doing fine. 2.5. So let me see. 10, because this is a half an inch. So I'm gonna get, if I'm not mistaken, that's 2.5. So I'm gonna check. Too much. 2.5, it should be around there. 3, 2.5. See. See what happens when you have OCD? You're just like thinking, oh, well, I don't have OCD, severe one, but I do like things to be straight when I want them to be straight. So around 10.5-ish. 10.5. So we created our frame. So I want the color to be right on the center here. So I'm gonna take my stencil. My stencil is gonna go right there. So I think I'm gonna do it this way. It's gonna be easier for me to control it. You're gonna see like it's not perfectly straight, my lines. I can tell you right now, but it will do. So this one is not super straight. I'm trying to just, if I line it up here, there we go. Okay, so make sure this holds in place. Okay, so what are we gonna need for this is some water. So I have my water here and I have my sprayer too. And I'm gonna use this to help me with the color. So you're going to need also some straight brushes. So I have two of my straight brushes here, one that's angled and the one that I use. So I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna start with some of the yellow. It's gonna put it there in place. I'm gonna hold it a bit. I'm gonna help myself with a little bit of tape. I'm gonna use washi tape this time around because I think it's gonna be easier to control it. Okay, just to hold it to the tape. Just because I am going to use water, so I just wanna keep a little bit of control. So I'm gonna start with the golden afro strudel. I hope I'm saying it properly. And I have cousins that are German, so probably they're like cringing if they hear me say these things. Probably be like, ah, you know. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this. I am not going to shake it on my page. I'm actually gonna build the color outside of the page and then bring it into the paper. So that is some of the powder here. I'm just trying to close it so I don't lose it. And I have some, I'm gonna spray some on the side. I'm not gonna go straight onto the powder. I'm gonna go on the side of the powder. And as how much color you want to add to this is gonna depend on how much water you use. So just keep that in mind. The more water you use, the more the color is gonna dilute. So we're gonna start with just a little bit. And it has like a really nice shade of gold. So you're gonna see that. Bring it. There you go. Clean cut right there. So you don't want to make your brush super filled with the colors. You can see that I'm kind of squishing the brush on my palette. And literally, we're just gonna paint over the stencil. Try to keep it just to one, like I'm not going up and down and I'm just gonna go side by side and try not to be so loaded. The more you load your brush, the more the color is gonna seep underneath the stencil. I'm gonna show you. See, too much water. So that's what I say. Try not to pick up so much water at the beginning. Just like not that much. So I'm gonna try keep going. and stay in one single direction. So I already know that the yellow has very little definition. Me doing this is not helping the case either. I'm gonna dry this up. See? When I pick up color, I'm gonna squeeze as much as I want. I'm gonna go start outside so it kind of soaks up in the paper. And then kind of go. And you're gonna see that I'm going just left to right. I'm not gonna go up and down, just one direction. Again, pick up more of the color here. And you do want a straight brush with it. Pick up more color. So think about around a third of the stencil you want to go with this color. Again, more color here. The extra. And it's not going to be, unfortunately, because of the brush, it's not going to be an even application. So some parts of it will have more yellow. Some parts might have like, think of it like a, kind of like a rustic feel to this. You're going to see that I'm picking up the color and trying to squeeze it out at the same time. The funny way to say it, but it's true. The more water you put, like I did at the beginning, the more it's going to seep into underneath the stencil, and you don't want that. You want to have that definition. So I'm just going to try. That's what I say. You don't need a lot of water. Need enough. So like I said, think about around a third, around half, a third of the stencil down, all the space, I should say. I'm just gonna get all this yellow out of the way. And the more water you saturate this, the longer it's gonna take to dry too. So that's why we're starting with this, because it's gonna be the part that's gonna take us the longest in this project. So here we go. I'm gonna lightly pick it up so you see it. So don't mind the top. We'll find a way to camouflage. So we're gonna leave that there for now. I am going to do it just a little bit of a wipe here. Tiny bit of a wipe. Because I don't want that much cross-contamination with the next color. I am going to clean my brush. There's a lot of yellow right now. I have another container with water next to it. And now we're gonna switch into the next color, which is the Verliner Feeling Fuchsia. Again, oh, this one came out like a lot. So I'm gonna use my just a little tap. It has a lot of gold in it. I tried it already when I was working with the sample. Okay, so this is the Verliner. Again, where's my little spray? A little bit of water. You don't need much. Okay, so this is molded powder. You're gonna see it's like this beautiful shade of like pink with like a really sparkly gold accent. So we're gonna, again, we don't need all the water. So again, we're gonna like tap it on the side and then just drag it. Too much. I can already tell you it's too much. So I'm gonna carefully lift it. Pick up the excess. And I remove the stencil. So be careful with this part. Try to line it up again. So here we go. If you have a sticky mat at the bottom will be great. Okay, so we're gonna hold this. And I'm gonna go up a little bit on top of what I had before because I want to create that color combo, and there's a lot of water here. So I might have to lift it up and clean up some of the stencil because I'm depositing a lot of water. Okay, there we go. Again. Again, just one direction. I'm going left to right. You can go up and down. Don't go up and down, left to right, because the more you do that, the more you're pushing the water between the crevices, and the more the chances are that your water is going to go underneath the stencil. So you're going to lose the detail of the stencil. And I see that I'm going to move the pink a little bit higher into the yellow just to create that transition of color. Okay, get a little bit more of this pink. Mix it with some of this water down here, the powder. I'm gonna intensify the color in a way, just a little bit. Just sort of like a dry brush. That's the best way to do it. Like, again, a little bit of the powder, kind of leaving all the water behind. Start on the pit, like outside. Let's do dry, so a little bit more powder, some of the water. Too much. There we go. And you're gonna see when I lift it that you're gonna see brush strokes because I'm going with pretty much a dry brush. I'm trying not to get like the water seeping underneath my stencil so I don't lose the look of the stencil, the definition of the flowers, even though you're gonna see it. I have lost a few of them. So a little bit more water. My brush is almost dry. I can see it already. So a tiny bit of water. Get some more of the color. I'm gonna go pretty much all the way down with this. You're gonna see that there's areas that I see them white. I'm just kind of stippling my brush there to fill up, but I'm not going like, up, and I'm just kind of stippling the brush. So the color gets deposited in the areas where there's an opening. Okay. And that's also gonna, by doing this, I'm also gonna cover some of the brush strokes. Move it a little bit. Literally, think about stippling. That's the best way that I could put it. Kind of pounding my brush lightly. A little bit there. And then I'm gonna take a tiny little bit of water just to kind of clean up whatever's on my brush. Clean up the excess. And I'm just gonna run it a little bit lower. I have a piece of paper here, so it soaks up the excess. You're gonna see in 2 seconds once I lift it. Again, I'm gonna kind of stipple a little bit, dry it up. And I lift it up so you see it. I lost a little bit of definition there because there's too much water. So I'm gonna take this, I'm going to clean up my stencil a little bit, and then I'm going to just dry a little bit of this. So now we're going to match it again. And we're gonna go with the last color. We're gonna do a little bit of cleanup here. Get some of this out. Hi, Kimberly. So I'm gonna take the next color, which is the blue Hawaiian blue. Okay, so I have it here on the side. Just a little spray. I'm gonna clean my brush. I have some paper towel here too. Just dry my brush. I'm gonna keep it handy to any excess water. So a little spray of water. On this side, we're gonna mix the color outside, not on top of the powder. So we can control the intensity. Okay, so here we go. Add a little bit more water because we're going to. Okay, here we go. Again, you don't want a very saturated brush. But then again, even though I said that, I can see already there's too much. So let me soak it up there. Okay, and I'm going to start painting on top of the lower part of the pink that I have from the top. One single direction, left to right, no left to right, up and down. Just do one single direction. Try it up. And I'm going to stipple a bit of my brush there just to create that color combo. Just with the color mixes. And so again. And so let's get some water. To darken this a bit, I'm gonna get a little bit more of the powder. A little bit of the water there. Kind of soak up the color there a bit. Go. and I'm gonna paint. And you're gonna see the streaks created. We're gonna fix that, so don't worry. So for now, like I said, the key is you don't need that much water. See, when you have too much water, you kind of lose the definition of your stencil. So you need a very little amount. So I have a little piece of paper towel here, so it's kind of dries a bit my brush. And here we go. And it's a bit of extra water. So it's really like a kind of a game. Guess the amount of water. Like seriously. It's gonna take you a little bit of like trial and error, but if you get too much water, then the water is like literally going to go because you're pushing the water into when you're painting, you're pushing your paint into the paper. So when you get too much water, you literally it's gonna run. So it's gonna run into your paper and you're gonna lose the definition of this. So it's just you're gonna have to play a little bit outside of your final product before you decided to, okay, this is the way I'm gonna go. So just so you get a hand on the amount of water that you need. To get any more color. And I'm actually using an acrylic paintbrush. I'm not using a watercolor brush because then it will suck a lot more water. And I didn't want that for today. I'm just painting like say left and right, and these brush strokes, and then you're gonna see there's like white spaces. Don't worry for now. Just trying to get some water. I have some extra water here. Too much. Get some more of the powder. Dry up the extra water. You're gonna see how it kind of like the paper towel soaks it up and it's too much. A little bit more. Some of the powder. Too much water. Again, here's where we're gonna go into the stippling to cover like the brush strokes and fill up the spots. Let me show with a thirsty brush. And I just cheat a bit and suck up the excess water from the stencil and from the paper. See, it's not that I'm being quiet, I'm just trying to work it out. Plus, if you guys, I don't know if you guys can hear, but my dog is like drinking water. I think I've talked to you guys about all of these times. I have a senior dog who we are pretty sure he had like a stroke already. He's getting old. He's 14 years old. He's on his way to 15 years. So when he had the stroke, his tongue, he's lost a lot of movement on his tongue. So it takes him a long time to eat and drink. So you can hear him like doing all the efforts, but the doctors told us not to try to let him do it on his own, even though we actually feed him, with the spoon and stuff like that. But he's our baby after all. So you're gonna see. I'm gonna lift it up. Okay, this one got muddled a little bit, but you see the color formation? Okay, so don't look at the muddle parts. But I'm not gonna pull it out. Like I said, I kind of taped it in place so it won't curl as much. Now we're gonna set it up to dry. Now it does need a little bit of green, so I am going to actually add the green up here. So it's just a matter of matching the stencil. Right there. I have a little bit of leftover of the blue here. Okay, so just gonna get a little bit of extra water. I don't want that much. I'm gonna dry up the excess. It's lightly gonna go on the top just to kind of create a little bit of blue. Too much blue, a little bit of green. Okay, and then I am going to actually clean up my brush because it'll be too green. Just create a bit of, bring the color down a bit. So let me see. Yeah, a little bit there. Clean the stencil. Then I'm going to go down here. Have a little bit of the yellow here. Gonna mix with some of the blue that I have here, and I'm gonna add it to the bottom of the blue to kind of bring a little bit of the teal. So I'm just stippling. I'm not gonna brush. I'm just gonna stipple. So there you go. So now I'm going to set it aside to dry. So give me 1 second because I have the big, like, mat here that is going to, it's taking up my space. I'm just gonna take it to the side to dry. I'm going to clean up I'm gonna leave it like that, but give me 1 second. I'm just gonna move it to the side. Okay, so I'll show you what like my trial version looks like, but I need to clean up my stencil. I don't know if I'm sure some of you might not be like, a little bit on the eccentric, like my husband calls it crazy, not eccentric, but I do have this thing that my stencil stays dirty. I don't like it. So I'm going to do a quick cleanup. I could go and tell you, excuse me, and I'm gonna go to the kitchen, which is like probably 5 steps from here, but just a wifey, just a baby. It's water-based. I just want to make sure that I don't have any of that of the powder caked in. I'm gonna clean it on both sides, and then after I'll wash it. But for now, just because I have like a lot of things on my table going on, and you see my working towels. These are the ones that I use like to clean stamps and while I'm stamping and stuff like that. So they're never super clean, even though this one is freshly washed too. See? There we go. So for now, I'm just gonna put it to the side to dry, and then once I'm finished with the live session, I'll go actually and clean it, like put it through the tub with a little bit of dish soap, so it's nice and clean. I don't know, like I said, not that I have OCD, or maybe I do have OCD, but I do like, especially when you're using tools, you want to keep them nice and clean, because for your next project. So I'm just cleaning my brush again. I just want to take away any gunk, and then I'll wash it out. So here's what I did outside of the camera. What gave me this idea? Pretty much what I created. Okay. So there is a shine to it. I don't know if you can see it because the lights are really bright. So this is the stencil by itself. I just went and actually masked the area on my paper a little bit bigger because we're working on a 12 by 12, so that I have, a larger background to work with. So this is what the stencil looks like. Don't look at the imperfections, even though the imperfections are actually going to help you in this one. Okay, but if you want it like to be nicely perfect, then you might want to consider actually using, even if you use like an ink blending brush, you're gonna have to be careful of the amount of water. So because you're not working with ink like an ink pad, you're working with powder that you're controlling the amount of water. I would suggest that you work outside of like your finish area in a piece of paper that is the same one that you're using for your project. Because here's the key. The same paper you're using for your project should be the same paper you do when you're testing it, so that you know how it reacts. Because not all inks and stuff works, react the same in paper if it's not the same paper. So try that. One thing. Second thing, because you're working with water and you are going to be using a brush, you are moving the fibers or your paper. You're going to move the fibers or your paper. So that's going to cause your paper to buckle. So you're going to need to actually use either a heavy cardstock, which is what I'm using. I'm using 140-pound cardstock for it. Or you're going to have to use watercolor paper. If you don't have any of those and you just have cardstock, then you might want to add a little bit of gesso. I'm going to show you what it's starting to look like, even though I want to like move it a bit so you see it. See, even though, be careful. There's still a little bit of buckling. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, but that's why I'm trying to keep it all like, even though I'm using 140-pound paper, I'm trying to keep it like, nice and tight onto my thing. When you get a watercolor paper pad, usually the papers are all like glued together on the binding to prevent the curling. So let me just move this. So I have that. Now, here's a picture that I'm going to document. That's my daughter. That's our baby, our dog. And that's literally how they sleep for the past 12 years or so now. My dog is 14 since he knew how to, jump onto the bed. And now if you don't see, you see here, there's a little ramp that like, brings it up and down the bed. So just drinking a little drop of water. So that's the picture. I set it aside. And then I'm going to actually pull my background. This is gonna make it easier for me to work. So I'm just gonna glue it straight onto here. I'm gonna take the sides here so you see what it looks like. And I tape like a square in the center of my paper because I do want, in a way, to kind of have that definition, kind of a frame in a way. Okay, so here we go. I am not gonna pull the sides yet, and actually what I'm going to do is trying to keep it. There's a little bit of buckle, like I said, even though I'm using like super heavy cardstock, there is a little bit of buckle, so I am hoping that this is going to prevent from like, complete curvature, but you can see it, there's a bit, okay? Hello, I don't know who's here, but hello, I can like, I'm trying to see. There you go. Maybe my phone can tell me. Maybe my watch can tell me. So here we go. See, nice. It is going to curl a little bit. So just, the key here is let it dry. Have patience. If you want to force it with a heat gun, you could, but you gotta be careful because that is going to move the fibers of the paper a little bit more and it's gonna cause more curvature. So my best advice for this, and I do a lot of this, guys, I do a lot of mixed media, is let it dry on its own. What you could do right now is pretty much dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take this, which is just the paper that the mixed media came in. I'm gonna add a little bit of weight on it while we work on this stuff, just so it like, it helps with the little bit of the curvature. But the best thing is just let it dry on its own, okay? I'm just going to put some weight on it for now. Usually be a little bit heavier than it. Okay, so now we're gonna, just to help it for a bit, okay? So now what I have here, like I said, this is my picture, and I have a little square in the center. So I'll talk to you why I'm doing things. So I have a lot of negative space on my paper. I have the background that I created. I don't want to cover all of it, okay? So even though right now it's drying in one position, I might switch it because there's some areas in that background that are not super perfect that I might want to hide, and that's okay, That's the beauty of having a repetitive stencil, is that you can elongate it, you can shorten it, and you can also like, hide your imperfections in a way. So like I said, this is how I will probably dry my, put some heavy blocks, but let it dry on its own. I'm okay with the curl. It's not bugging me because I'm gonna put things on top of it. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna lift this up a little bit to see what it looks like. I have the nice clean area. I have a lot of white space around it. I go up here. I do the same at the bottom. And I wanted that like, clean space. I wanted that clean center. Okay. And I am using, in case, I'm using mint tape. You can use some masking tape if you want to do that. Again, the key, don't go heavy with the water. Okay, because you want to make sure that you can control that part. So there you go. So now it's a matter of like, that was the major thing. That was like, and like I said, this is available in your January kit. This is the January color kit. This is what it creates. So I wanted to put, actually don't mind the imperfections. And even though I created all of this, I would have to hide some of it. And not mean hide, it's just the nature of documenting. Some of it is going to be a little bit on the hidden side. So it's just a matter of deciding where I want to put it. And I do want to use like, kind of go with like a diagonal effect. So kind of a triangle. So 1, 2, 3. So think about it like I'm going to add stuff here. Picture is going to be here, and there's going to be something down here. So I'm going to make your eyes bump from here to here to here. So I'm already telling you where I'm going to put things. I'm putting the picture here. I am not gonna overload this because like I said, I already have like, you don't want to hide what you did. Now, if you want to like, extend this, you can literally do the stencil one time, clean it up on both sides, and then do it again, and then you cover a larger area. So then you can like, have a larger background in a way. I don't mind the frame. I actually like the frame. I like the fact that it's kind of built into already. So I know my picture is gonna go there. So let's go through. What we're going to use mostly today, even though I have the two kits, is gonna be the main kit. I want to focus on the main kit because I think it's beautiful for this. So one of the things that I loved, I know that I need to back this picture. So let me go into the papers. I pull them out. I have them here on the side. I don't think I'm going to use the, actually, I am going to use the cardstock kit. So I'm going to be careful not to, I'm just going to put there just in case. Do a little bit damp. So I want something that is going to bring those colors. Remember, we can have a gradient going on the background. So I'm going to put my picture right here between the orange, the pink, and the purple. So I want to make sure that my picture actually kind of picks up those colors too. So let's see. I need to have, there has to be a paper that has those colors. See, I like gray. And the papers are beautiful. Okay, so I like that. I'm just trying to see. See, it's too much color from, like, it's beautiful. I can put it like a run here, but it has the green. So I think I'm going to use this. I am going to use something that brings a little bit of the blue that I have going on, something of the purple. I have those two papers. I don't know the names yet. I'm going to tell you in 1 second because we want to make sure. So I'm going to move this again out of the way. So see, it has like that orangey, it's kind of in the pink side of the stripe. That's what I want to use this paper. This is kind of bring that part there. And the name of this paper is Confident. And I love this, but I know that I love a good wood grain paper. So I think I want that. This is gonna pop from that area. Gonna be careful there. So I'm just going to kind of take it here and I'm just gonna cut something that's gonna frame my picture. So don't mind me if I just like, roughly cut with my scissors and then I clean up after with my guillotine. So I'm just moving some stuff out of the way. I have extra brushes here that I brought just in case. So the name of this paper is Confident, and I'm guessing that is the A side. I'm hoping it's the A side. So I'm going to just kind of clean up a bit. See, like quite a few people here. Yeah, I like the orange. I think the orange is a nice contrast for the placement of the thing. It picks up on some of the kind of yellowy and orangey tones that I have going on. You see, it's right here. And it's going to be a little bit off. I don't want to cover all of this. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And I want to add a second layer. So I am going to aim my best not to add anything. I can even go this way too if I wanted to. But I do want it here. I'm going to try not to add as much things to cover this. Okay, so it needs a little piece of this purple. That's because I think the contrast or something that is on the blue side. See, I don't like the purple. Too much color. It has to be something that is in between it. So let's see. Let's get another one. Move the way so that you can soak up the. Oh, what about this? See, I like this. The name of this paper is Cheerful, and I'm going to cut a mat that is exactly the same size. So I'm trying to use my scissors, but I'm going to go with the other side too. And the name of this is Cheerful and Confident. Those are the papers that I use for my business. Sorry about the noise. I just had the scissors on top of the guillotine. Clean up, clean up. So let's see what looks better right now. I know I want this as the base because it makes the picture pop, and I have it in black and white, so there's a contrast, okay? And I think too light, but I think this is perfect. It just picks up on the pink. This is gonna pick up on the yellow. This is gonna the pink on the blue. Sorry, this is gonna pick up on the orange and that those warm tones that I have going on this part of the stencil, and it's gonna pick up on the cooler tones that is going towards the bottom. So a little bit of a slant. It will work. So let's get some tape going already to the center of the paper. Just they don't have to be perfect. Okay. One thing I'm going to add is a piece of cardstock behind this because in case you have never heard it, I have a thing about not having my picture in a way touch paper. I don't know what it is about it. It's not that they touch paper, I just like to give it a little bit of a lift. But I think sometimes foam adhesive can be a lot of dimension, but I do like the soft shadow. So one of the choices that I found is adding leftover cardstock, and I'm sure we all have it. We all have like trims of cuts of paper. This one that I'm using is from my die cut. It's 110-pound cardstock, and I had it from something that I'm going to show you that I created for my title. So it does give you a little dimension, a little bit of a lift, but not like a lot of pop. Oh, that was actually pretty nice. Okay, so there's a tiny little bit of a lift, but not a lot of pop, which is perfect. Okay. So not like not completely straight, even though I am probably going to put it straight. And I am going to do the same thing back here. So let me get more because I have lots of leftover card. If you work with, I am blessed to work with companies that are for car makers. So I use a lot of heavy cardstock to create my die cut. So I have a lot of like leftover pieces of cardstock. This is one of the ways that I use to create dimension in a page without a lot of bulk. Okay. So there we go. See, there's a little bit of dimension, but there's no bulk. And like I said, this is just the perfect placement. I do want to make sure, even though the layers are a little bit skew, I want to make sure that the picture is nice and straight. So I'm going to use my ruler and pray to God that it's not like, super crooked. So we're going to go ahead and secure this. I am going to add a little bit of liquid glue just to the center. One of the reasons is whenever you add in mixed media to anything, especially paper related, mixed media tends to make stuff slippery. So adding a little bit of, if you add some of your tape, or in this case, I'm using some of my glue tape, it's okay, but it will come off. So in a way, add a tiny little bit of liquid glue, and it just make it extra secure. Somebody one time gave me that advice, and I was like, you're right. And then a couple, for Christmas, we did like a major cleanup. I gave away a lot of paper. I pulled out some stuff and realized that some of the, even though I use good tape, it does come off. And it's not because it's bad tape, it's just this makes it slippery. Okay? So here we go. So I'm going to say 2/3 of it is still a little bit damp, but we're just going to, keep working along. So I have that. Like I said, I'm going to try to stay just within the main kit now. I say that and I'm already shaking my head going, no, don't say that because we're not going. But I don't want to add that many flowers because you already have that in the background. So you have to, in a way, kind of balance what you want to add. So one of the things that caught my eye when I was going through the kit were these frames. And they're great if you want to frame a picture. If you like small pictures, and I do, then go ahead. I think it's a great way to actually kind of bring a little bit extra pop to your layer. So because my picture is sitting right on the purple, I was thinking maybe that I can maybe add a bit of this in between the layers. So just kind of peeking out there, not a ton. Remember, like I said, I don't want to cover a lot of this. Just like a little bit here. So I'm just gonna find where the purple sits. And I'm okay with putting it here because it's gonna cover the little bit of like, the little boo-boo that you see on the back. So I think I wanna add it here. I may trim half of it. I may not. But I like that there. It's just going to make this a little bit interesting, even though it's like a lot of purple. And it's, maybe we go with the blue or the pink. Let's see the pink. And I love the frames. I had an idea with the frames, but I was thinking maybe, you know, sometimes it's not good to save things for a rainy day. We talked about that in the last live session. We save a lot of papers for our rainy days and we never get to use them. So I think like that. I don't know. But I do love the frames. I might use them for the title, but I think it's gonna be here. But I do need something that's gonna bring some of that pink. So I'm just gonna go to the stuff here that I have. Like I said, I'm gonna try to shy away from the flowers because I already have that on the background. So I'm just going to look at some of the stuff. I like this. This was so meaningful. Kindred spirits. I love this owl because it picks up some of the, see? Just gonna start layering pieces here. Okay, so I like that there. Nothing is glued, so we're gonna play with some stuff. But I want to work on the title. So I know that some of the little boo-boos that I have are hidden there. So I want to work on my title now before I go into embellishing. Because remember, like I said, 1, 2, 3. So you don't have to put it, my title is going to be here. I have all the space here. I'm going to add some embellishing like in this area of my picture. Maybe I could move it over here just to balance it off. I'm just waiting for this to dry so I can peel it off. And I know I want something down here that is going to be the placing for my writing, for my journaling. So I'm going to just move the stuff for now. And let me just, I think that'll be fine right now. I think it's dry enough for me to do this. So let me just move it out of the way. I don't think it's going to curl that much more. It might, a little bit. Knock on wood, Natalie, it won't curl. But I'm just gonna take this and move it out of the way. Okay. Let me just move this out of the way. So I don't think it's going to curl that much. But you see, I have space for my title without taking from the background, have space to embellish, and then I have something for my lines of journal. So something has to be something bold for my title to balance this up. So what I looked into and I just moved this. This comes in your main kit. These are foam shapes, and I really like this unique because it picks up all the colors. So let's see if my idea works. I was thinking to put it here, kind of following the frame idea, but I'm gonna cut it with the plastic backing because I want to make sure that it looks good the way that I think about it. See, it picks up the colors. It lands like it pops. I can put it up here too, but I think but for now, let's just play with it. But I know the word unique is gonna go there. So I wanted the word unique love because trust me, they have like a weird relationship. They love each other, but So this month, one of the dies that is available is this one. It says love you, and it's actually one that will create this. So you actually create a negative piece for a card or anything for a surface, but then you can use the positive die cuts to create a title or an accent. So I went ahead and I just want the word love. I don't want the you. So I want unique love. So I went ahead and die cut the word love a few times. I'm going to show you in a bit. but I'm gonna cut it one more time. So I didn't do it because I wanted to make sure where I'm gonna put it. So I think that I want to, just so you see what I'm going for. I think I wanna add it kind of there. Okay. That is gonna take away, that's gonna balance that. So you see, by pulling this up, I'm gonna pull it so that it have like the kind of same colors a bit going on. I can add something else there, but I'm balancing this part out. And then it gives me a little bit of space to add something down here. So I have my little triangle. I'm not gonna cover much of that. I could also go like this, in case you're like, you know, you can also go like that, but I think it's gonna cover some of you, and it's gonna make it even harder to read if you add here. I'm still gonna cover those letters. So I think my best choice is to go here. It's gonna accent the angle that I created with the stencil. Gonna bring some of the colors. It's gonna balance this part down here. So I want it up there. So I've cut this 3 times out of white cardstock. So I'm gonna show you. Heavy cardstock. I'm gonna glue those 3 together, but I'm actually gonna cut a paper from the cardstock kit to go on top of that. Maybe something be either yellow or green, just because it's right on that band of color. Okay, and I'm, like I said, even though I'm trying to keep the gradient, it is not gonna be perfect. So we're just gonna work with what, you know, we're going to think that is in the right location. So we're gonna move this to the side. I have my little die cutting machine here. So let me get my cardstock kit, which I have it squashed down here. So give me 1 second. Okay. So like I said, I'm going to find something that it actually, maybe the yellow or the green. So let's bring this back. I'm thinking that I'm going to go for the green, actually. Yeah, because it's right there. So I'm going to take some of the green, put this back. Like I said, I'm trying to stay just within, like, you know, the main kit and the color kit, even though I'm pulling the cardstock kit. I'm just going to cut the word love. I don't want the U. And you can do that too. Okay, so let me just try to keep myself organized here a bit. Where did I put my mats? No, my mats, and I have different sizes of shim. I'm gonna put with a little bit of a shim, even though I cut it without it, but I just wanna make sure that, you know, cut it all at once. So I don't have to go back to it after. So here we go. And let me move this out of the way. Okay, so I have my, see, you're gonna be left over with the word love you. And it's actually a good positive, a good negative to have. Like I said, for today, I just need the love. So I'm going to just pop them out. Okay. Put this away because it'll keep the area nice and clean. Okay, we're gonna build our title. So I've cut this is like 3 pieces of heavy white cardstock, you know, glued together, stacked together and glued. So I'm just going to make it a little bit chunkier and sturdier, the title. Think of it as creating your alphas. Now you have puffy alphas. I'm doing the same, but with cardstock. And if you have double-sided tape, it actually is, you know, like the big sheets of double-sided tape, then you make them into peel and stick stickers. It's so fun, you know. If you're a card maker, then you know it just makes it so much easier just to peel and stick. No need for, like, you know, the liquid glue. But here we go. Let me just cover this up. Okay, so I have my title, shoot nice and straight. Here, move it to the side. Okay, back to our layout. Nothing is glued on the title, but so you see it. If I do this, I am actually like, kind of emphasizing this angle that I created with my stencil. I actually like that. Okay, so I'm not gluing anything yet. I'm just gonna put things in place. So we go into building the rest of the layer. Let's see what else we have here. Now we go back into our, like I said, I'm trying not to, I'm looking at some things that I see and get the bar and everything in between. I do like this. Make love. To get the bar and everything in between. So I might actually move it a little bit higher. Move it a little bit higher. Yeah, so that's from your pack of ephemera from the main kit. And I see Kimberly's that in the links to it. But if you know, in the description of the video, I actually added also the links to everything. That's gonna be there. So let's see, like I said, I do think that we need a frame or something here. But like I said, I wasn't thinking on which side. I think that I want to put it out here. Okay. And I'm not going for the florals because I already have them going on here. So I'm just trying to see happy heart always. I like that. Kind of stays within the pink, but I need to make them a little bit higher. Okay, so kind of there. So it kind of balances this out, and then it gives you like the perfect location for your third cluster where we're gonna add more embellishment. But so you see where it's going. I need to add something to pump some of the, and I really love this. Okay, but my cat nephews are like a nice little adventure. I think I want to put it here. That it's kind of or in the yellow, but without in the orange. But I think I want to go right there. Okay, so not a lot of embellishing when it comes to the inside here, but kind of pulling I have all the negative space that I gotta use. So now let's find something from down here. See, in real life. So see, I'm gonna bring in, I need to find something that has teal. I have some of the blues. Let's just take a look at here. I don't know if I want to use this. See, I think it's too much, but I like that. I also have, and I might have to, what I said I'm not gonna do, I might have to go into the embellishment kit. It's just good. See, you need something that has like tealish tones at the bottom. 2 pieces in a pot. Okay. You see, it's not gonna be like right on the corner because I already have that. Somewhere like here. Think of it like halfway in between. So I have 2, 3. Okay. And then when you do that, think of the triangle you created, your attention is going to be here. Because the picture is black and white, your eye automatically pops to this. Okay, so even though the picture is not going to sit right on the center of the triangle that you created, because of the color contrast, your eye is going to pop here. But your eye still is going to be guided like this. So just a little bit of geekness for you guys. Geeky design. So I know if my husband was here, he'd be rolling his head going, oh God. But let's see. Little heart, black and white. I have black and white here. I have black and white in the picture. A little bit of black and white. There's a little heart. And I'm going to use the seals too. I'm just trying to see. I need something that kind of elongates this way because I have that that idea going on. I could use this and I'm actually going to use this, but I'm going to trim it. Okay. So let's take this. Not afraid of cutting, ephemera to work for you. You shouldn't be afraid. There you go. have kind of that bluish tone going on there. So, okay, it's something that has like a big heart or a little flower. I'm gonna go into the I like that. Okay, because it picks up the colors that I have going on, that blue, that teal, the black and white. Let's get some foam adhesive we need right now. And let's put it on the side. I'm actually gonna take this heart and then one from the foam shape. And let's glue this in place. I need to pop this a bit. Okay, probably add some the dates there. See? Or no. Oh, I need a heart. Okay. So I like that. Then you can add your ISO journal down there. It gives me space to add some journaling. Down here, I can stamp something. I have the stamp here too, but for now, I do like this here. So I'm gonna add some foam adhesive behind the frame. Just to the areas that you see. You don't need to add it everywhere. Okay. Happy heart always. I go there. Heart, heart. We need to add something here. We need to glue this in place. So we're almost done. Oh. Okay, so there's something if you hear my husband walking in, I can. So I need to get something yellow there. Come on, like this. Let's see, I need a heart. Well, no, thinking if I add this yellow. The seals are very cold, Kimberly, by the way. I like that. And now we're gonna work on our title. Okay, take advantage of this. Remember, use the L a little bit higher there. Okay, so we're gonna glue this next. This is from the ephemera pack. Like I said, I'm trying to use just the main kit and the color kit. I got that from the cardstock kit, so rewind a bit. I'm trying to. Not succeeding, obviously, but this month's kits are beautiful. Pink. Pink is good, even if you have a boy. Okay. So we're going to add it right at the edge of the stencil. And then we're going to glue this in place. Actually, maybe even go higher. Okay. Just glue this in place. You have to move the unique down a bit. So I want it to be right, like kind of create a straight angle right there. So unless you don't see me push it down completely, then I don't know it's completely glued. So I'm just gonna leave it. It's kind of floating. I don't know if you can see it. It's like there's a space in between the sticker and the paper. Once I'm happy, then I'll push it down with my hand and it makes it final. Yeah. So I'm just going to glue this. I'm hoping it's nice and straight. It's hard to see because I have the camera right at that angle right there. So I'm trying to make sure that it's nice and straight, but you know what? I just realized something. It looks like it. Not the E. True. Perfect. So now where did I put it? Little tip here. Okay. create something else here. So let's look at one of these little seals, just because we have them going. Maybe a butterfly or something. Butterflies are a good thing. And because it's yellow. There we go. Perfect. So let's see what else we need to add. I need another foam adhesive here. Can you see? Foam adhesive. Trying to secure this a bit more. Can add something down here. Let's see. I'm trying to stay within the colors, the yellow, kind of the orangey, the greens, the pinks. I think I've done good. So what I'm going to do right now is actually go back to my powders. Let me just clean up a bit because I need to make up space. And like I said, there is an embellishment kit that actually has enamel dots, and I'm going to show them to you. I don't want to. I already had some of the leftover powder that I had from creating the background. We're actually going to add some splatters. So there is some enamel dots. This is in the embellishment kit, but I don't want to use it. I want to just, like I said, I'm trying to stay within just 3 major things. So, okay, let me just move some stuff around. I do have my powders here, so I'm trying to get the glass mat here carefully. I do have another brush. Where is my little round brush? Okay. And add some of the blue here. I have the yellow, the gold one. I have the, but I don't have blue. So just a little bit. We're gonna create some water right on top of the color. Some splatters. Okay, so let's move it a bit out of the way. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, let me clean my brush. I'm stretching here on top of the paint. Some of that pink. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm gonna try to move it a bit. So I have the powders here. I'm just working outside of, the camera a bit. See? More of this pink. Okay. Yeah. I don't mind if it goes a bit on the picture. Okay. And kind of stretch it a bit up here. Now like tighten all together. Clean your brush. And I'm gonna go with the blue that I just added here. And if you can see it, I have my blue here. Good. I think that's good enough. See? A little bit of the blue down there in the picture. Not tons, but a little bit. It's not gonna hurt. Okay, move this out of the way so you. And I'm done. So there we go. Let me clean up so you guys see. So created my square, my background, using the stencil and so the color kit. Okay. You're gonna need a flat brush for that. So in case you came in late, this is what I used. Okay, a little bit of water, created my background. Then I color blocked a little bit. And that's the result. So I'm gonna move that out of the way. There you go. Lines of journal, you have plenty of space down here without throwing off the balance of your layout. So you have plenty of space down here, space for my date. You can add your lines of journal right here. And there, I hope you enjoy this. I am going to leave it there for 2 seconds until I sit down to say goodbye. Remember, it takes one switch of a button for me to see you guys. So let me sit down. You flip the camera. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed that. As always, like I said, if you have any questions, leave me a comment in the description of the video here. I'll come back and help you. I'll take the pictures of this layout tomorrow and I'll post them. I promise. Because right now it's getting dark, so it's not a good time to take pictures. But I hope you enjoyed. As always, if you have any questions or you have suggestions on what you would like to see, let me know. I think I'm coming back to see you guys in a couple of weeks, not next week, but in a couple of weeks with another live session. And if you have something like specific that you want me to work on, just tag me in the group Facebook page and I'll be happy to help you with an idea with that. But thank you so much. Thank you, Kimberly, for helping. And I hope to see you guys soon. Take care, guys.